Spike Lee's back with a brand new joint that covers battling the effects of war, race, and the demons of our past. Is The Five Bloods a worthy follow-up to his Oscar award-winning BlacKkKlansman? I'm Renee, and here are my 2 cents. On the surface, The Five Bloods looks like a very similar Vietnam movie like we've seen in the past, dealing with fighting in a war that was highly controversial, the unappreciation that was shown to those who participated in it, and overall really begging the question if it was a war that was necessary. I mean, what war really is? However, the deeper you dive into it, you come to realize that it is much more than that. The movie revolves around 4 Vietnam vets who reunite back in a country they are all too familiar with in order to retrieve their fallen squad leader, played by Chadwick Boseman, and a treasure of gold that they uncovered during one of their last missions. From the start, Spike provides a good history lesson of the Vietnam period and how it divided the nation, not only to fight a war that was questionable, but the experience of being black during that time and how many black soldiers were forced to risk their lives for a freedom that, to this day, many have not yet experienced. The movie does a very good job in not only showing this point of view, but also the point of view of those in Vietnam and how many are still suffering from the effects of this war. Vietnam is buzzing with business from American companies, fully available for everyone to enjoy, but seeing former GIs walking about can easily stir up memories of the past. The journey to retrieve their fallen comrade brings up a lot of emotions from every member of the team, especially since they looked upon him as their teacher when it comes to Black history and how to look upon the world. Love is the answer, and would be much easier if we can all love each other. A very timely sentiment for the current world that we live in. This message is often portrayed throughout the film, not only through the characters but through the music of Marvin Gaye that was perfectly placed all throughout the movie. The treasure of gold that was also part of the journey was always meant to be used to give back to the Black community, but now it appears that several of the members have their own ideas of what is needed to be done with it. However, towards the end of the movie, the realization of one's personal wealth is shadowed by making things right and doing one's part to better themselves, those around us, and the future. The talent of actors brought together for this film was extraordinary. Clark Peters, Norm Lewis, Isaiah Whitlock Jr. all give great performances. But the true standout and the main focus of the film was Delroy Lindo. His portrayal of Paul, a Vietnam vet who suffers from PTSD, not only from war but for challenges of being Black in America, was done in a way that's all too real and mirrors a lot of people in the world today. Very complicated character. He's a Trump supporter who proudly wears a Make America Great Again hat, is never shy to give his opinions on politics and race relations, but also shows how far gone he currently is from the days of fighting alongside these men and the teachings from their friend Norm. The effects of war and the world have weighed so heavily on him that it even damages the relationship that he has with his own son, who decided to join along to look after his ailing dad. His attitude and personality often causes rifts with the group, and he can very easily be seen as the villain. You see this character constantly dive deeper into a hole of madness, but once it hits its peak, the more you sympathize with him, and the more you learn to understand that he's just a victim of the wrongs that he has seen within himself and within the world around him. A government that lied to him, failed to protect and take care of him, a society that doesn't respect him. Again, reminders of this are all provided throughout the film and reminders of what we're seeing today. Delroy's presence is the strongest of the entire group, and every time he's on screen, you really can't help but pay attention to him. I mean, don't get me wrong, great performances all around, but his is the true standout in this movie. The raw emotion that he shows, the struggles that he has, even being back in country, you can see how he can't stand to be back there and how all the memories of the past kind of just slowly come back, and he turns back into soldier mode and the struggle he had to kind of sever what he experienced in the past and what the true reality is. It's an amazing performance to see on screen, and honestly, if the Oscar race was to start now, his name should definitely be up there on the list, because this performance is well deserving of it. The Five Bloods is a really well done movie, and in my honest opinion, it is one of Spike's best as of late. You know, BlacKkKlansman was a great movie, and it's nice to see that he was able to carry it on from here. I mean, to be honest, I've been kind of critical of him, especially in the past, since a lot of his movies were hit or miss for me. Maybe it just didn't gel with me at the right moment at the right time. But as of recently, his movies have really hit the mark. Yes, at times I did feel a lot of the messaging and the history lessons, you know, were a bit too heavy. But he tried his best to address a lot of these and, you know, put a lot of focus in tying all these things together, because in his point of view and the way that he portrays it on film, they all do tie together and it all makes sense as one. It kind of helps us understand the brevity of emotions that these characters are feeling, and, you know, when they experience it as they go through the journey together. You know, there were moments in the movie where I thought it was a little bit too predictable. So when the payoff came at the end, it was kind of comical at times, but that didn't really detract from the overall feeling of the movie and how the overall movie was done. But to be clear, if the current political climate is a little bit too much for you and you're looking for escape, then this is definitely not a movie you should watch right now. But however, I do recommend you should watch this movie for sure whenever you are at that mental capacity to do so. Overall, the rescue of the remains of their friend and the retrieval of the gold becomes secondary. The true story here revolves around legacy, experiences, and lessons of the past that oftentimes still haunt us today, and what one must do to overcome and try to be a better person. They always say that we should learn from the mistakes of the past, or else we are doomed to repeat them. This stays very true, not only for characters in this movie, but also very true within our own reality. You know, Marvin Gaye once sang, "For only love can conquer hate. You know we've got to find a way to bring some love in here today." Brilliant words that echo many of our own sentiments. But then again, that's just my 2 cents. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and be sure to stay tuned to the channel for future reviews. Until next time, peace. Oh hey guys, thanks again for watching. If you want to check out my other videos, make sure to access them through this menu that you see on this side of the screen. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, or hit that logo you see right here on this side of the screen. I've always wanted to do that. Catch you next time.